Welcome back to TaraChessAcademy, and today we're going to look at an interesting game from the Fide World Cup. Oh wait, didn't you go to the Fide World Cup?
Yes, I did. I'm actually here now in Baku, Azerbaijan.
That's cool. So you met some famous chess players, right? I saw your photo with Vishwanathan Nana and then Wesley So.
Yeah, I met some strong chess players and even had a possibility to take a photo with them. So I was pretty excited to meet the world chess champion, Vishy Anand, and also Wesley So. And I hope like maybe to see some other chess players like Hikaru Nakamura, Fabiana Caruana, Magnus Carlsen. So we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. It's super incredible to take a picture with amazing chess players. So how did it feel for you at that moment to be with such incredible and famous and chess players?
Uh, I was excited and shy a little bit. So didn't want to disturb them for taking a photo,
Mhm.
but it looks like they didn't mind. So
Yeah, that's nice of them that they took time for the photo. And it's definitely a lifelong memory because getting that opportunity is super rare. So it's really nice that you got that chance.
yeah, probably.
Yeah, so going back to the game, this was actually a game from the FIDE World Cup, and we have some two really strong players from the World Cup. Can you tell a little bit about these players?
Yeah, so it was the first game of the first round that happened in FIDE World Cup. So chess player who played white is a grandmaster, I suppose, from Turkey. And his opponent is Serbian grandmaster, which is a little bit more high rated. And like the last move that black made in this position was bishop takes c5, taking the pawn. But white prepared a surprise, maybe a little bit unexpected to find this sacrifice. So as you can see, white pieces are looking at the king side, and the position of the black king doesn't seem well defended. So in the game, white started with a bishop sacrifice. Yeah, so looks like a Greek gift sacrifice. Bishop takes h7. Yeah, I don't think that it would be great for black not to capture the bishop, not to accept the sacrifice. So king takes h7, and now we can think together how white can continue playing after this. So Tara, what ideas do you have?
So, those of you who know the Greek gift sacrifice and are fans of it, you'll probably remember that you at some point in this move sequence you play queen to h5, and I feel like that's a pretty good move because you
Mhm.
attack the king, you bring your queen out. So, let's play it.
Yeah, so queen h5 for this position looks like a very natural move. The only answer is king to g8. And if you know some typical moves for Greek gift sacrifice, very often white has a possibility to move the knight to g5, yeah, as soon as possible. In this position, you can see that the white knight is a little bit too far away from the king side, so I think that if you continue with knight e4 or knight f3, maybe, you're gonna give some time to black to defend the position. So that's why we should make like more attacking and aggressive move. So Tara, what ideas do you have for the White Queen? Maybe we can create mate in one idea.
Yeah, so whenever the queen is near the enemy king's territory, it's always great to look for ways to increase the queen's power and make it even stronger. So I feel like a way to do that here would be queen to h6, since we attack the g7 pawn and we're also threatening checkmate in one move.
Yeah, Queen h6, you see that black can't defend the pawn, so the only move is to move it to g6. And I think the main idea of playing Queen h6, yes, to provoke this weak square on f6. Yes, so I think if the knight get a possibility to get there, would be great for us. Unfortunately, we can't play rook h3 with idea to control h file. Yeah, because the bishop just captures. So that's why, like, if you want to improve your attack, usually it's good to use new pieces in it. So knight goes to e4. Yeah, if knight gets to f6, mate idea, and I don't see how black can survive after knight f6. So that's why, of course, black has to defend this square. So bishop goes to e7. If we play knight f6 immediately, unfortunately, our plan doesn't work because the pawn is undefended. Of course, we don't have time to mate queen g7. Black just captures the pawn. So that's why in this position, we probably just have to defend, or let's say attack f6 more. So Tara, what ideas do you have? How would you play for white?
Okay, so if I want to try and attack f6 more, I noticed that I probably don't want to bring the queen back to f4 because the queen's on a pretty good spot, so I'll use the rook this time. So how about rook to f3? Does that look good?
Yeah, rook f3 is a really nice move in this position. Yeah, now if black, okay, let me make just a bad move. Yeah, if black doesn't do anything, then the knight just gets to f6 and the pawn on f6 is defended, so black has a choice to be mated in one move or just to trade the queen to this pawn. So that's why in the game, black tried to block f5 for the rook and bishop f5 happened. And now the last, like, let's say, combination. So what would you do, Tara? How would you play for white?
Okay, so combinations are just so much fun and I love playing these things. So how about the viewers at home get to think for a minute? So please pause the video and come back when you think you found the solution. Are you back? Did you find rook captures f5? That's great. So you capture the bishop.
Hmm.
If the pawn captures the rook back, now we can play knight to f6 because we have the support of the queen and the pawn. And if the bishop captures, we just capture back. And the only way to stop the mate is queen captures f6, but you'll just capture queen, so that's really good.
Yeah, or mate on g7. Yeah. So yeah, that's why in the game after rook f5, black didn't capture the rook. Rook a6 was played. Yeah, with the idea somehow to defend f6 more. And Gurel Edis just moved the rook back to f3, and black resigned because white has a very strong idea. Yeah, without the black light square bishop on the chessboard, to play rook h3 and to use h file. So, for instance, if black, yeah, let's just continue to make several more moves. So, if the rook, for instance, moves away, we still play rook h3. If, I don't know, like f5 would be played in this position, with the idea to get an escape square for the king. So white has a very nice mate and four combination, yeah? So Tara, I think we can start with queen h7 check, yeah? And now white has a strong move without check, which also creates a mate idea, like mate in one. So how would you continue for white in this position?
Okay, so I think that the pieces that we've used so far have done a really good job. We should give all these pieces an applause because they've just been doing so great. But we need to add a couple of more pieces to make our attack even stronger. And it's just like when in movies, when you have a superhero, if the superheroes don't have their buddies or their friends, it's going to be hard to defeat the villains and like do cool stuff like that. So it's time to add in a couple more friends. So how about we add the pawn on e5? What if we move it to e6? So now we're threatening checkmate, and the only way to stop that would be rook captures e6, right?
Yeah, but then it's also kind of like the coin can blockade same time because now e6 is not available for the king anymore. So please, Tara, how would you play?
Okay, so now let's play queen to h8 to give a check. If the
Mm-hmm.
king escapes, we can play rook to h7 and it's checkmate.
So yeah, the game is over. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
very nice, like sacrifice on h7. Yeah, you always should keep this in mind. Yeah, and take care about position of the king.
Right. So even though our game is done, I encourage all the viewers at home to continue to look at the FIDE World Cup games and learn from the grandmasters, because when grandmasters play, there's so many things that we can learn, like their style, their execution, tactics. So if you continue to look at these games, I feel like you're not I feel like your tactics will get stronger and you will improve in chess. So continue to look at grandmasters chess games, continue to play chess, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.